Am I the asshole for stepping down as a bridesmaid because my friend didn't go to my dad's funeral? I have a lot of issues, and while I have caused a lot of them, some can root back to my dad. I won't get into things other than years of him comparing me to other girls, berating me, and other actions have left a scar. But when he passed, it hurt like hell knowing I'd never get his approval. The last few days he was in hospice care, slowly dying, and he still found ways to hurt my sister and I. Needless to say, I'm not okay. I guess that's why I'm asking. My friend from high school is engaged and I'm part of the wedding party. Said friend has never understood the relationship I have with my dad. Without trying to sound envious, her life has been cushy. Truth is, she's never understood much of my pain, and I've excused it because not many people do. I called her the night he died in tears. She didn't know what to say. A few days later she asked if I was still going shoe shopping for her wedding shoes. I declined because, strange grief. I told her the date of the funeral. She sent me a thumbs up. I know she had the day off and expected her to at least stop in during visitation. She didn't come and didn't text me at all that day. Instead, a week later I get a message asking if I was still a part of the wedding because I was behind on my dress/shoe/accessory shopping. I've been a basket case with reliving all the things he's done to me, watching him die, planning a funeral, and thinking about how the diseases he had at the end of his life could be passed on to my sister and I. I've been short with many people. My friend was no expectation. To sum it up, I told her she couldn't be there when I needed her. I sure as hell wouldn't be there for her, and she can take her wedding and shove it. Since then I've been receiving messages from both her boyfriend and friends saying I've made her cry and am being completely selfish. As her boyfriend told me, I have always expressed a dislike for my dad, so his death shouldn't be such a big deal and I'm using it for attention. I can admit I'm an asshole for how I worded things. I intend to apologize. Am I the ass though for quitting as her bridesmaid because she didn't come to my dad's funeral? Info: did you just send the information and expect her to get the idea that you wanted to go? Or did you actually ask her to come with you? From your story it sounds like the former, which would make you TA, as she would have been nothing but communicative with you while you just expected her to be a mind reader. ETA, there seems to be a bit of a cultural crossroads, between those who are on the side of I show up anyways to be supportive and to let others know that they are there for me, and I don't want to intrude on those who are grieving because it is not my place to invade their space to do so. Thank you to those of you who were able to discuss this cultural difference with respect towards everyone's belief systems and acknowledge that this is done either way out of respect for the individual's mourning. For those who felt the need to display their ethnocentrism full on and blatantly insult other cultures because they believe differently, I'm sorry your life is that sad. Edit 2, for those asking, I'm American, but I'm Jewish. We don't have wakes. We don't intrude on those in mourning. We leave rocks on graves because flowers die. We are very strict about how deaths are done, even in relaxed forms of Judaism. Not everyone in the US follows one culture. Stop invalidating other cultures and practices just because they are not your own. Agreed. I have never been to a friend's parents' funeral, and the only friend I invited to my father's funeral was a neighbor for 20 years. Funerals aren't something you just show up to uninvited. Edit. Obviously, even within the USA there's different cultures, and some celebrate life while others grieve their loss. My family is definitely the latter. I have many close friends and I didn't want a single one around. Most of my friends stopped by my place to bring food, flowers, a card, or even a hug in the weeks following my dad's death. Which is what I've done for friends who suffered a loss. I feel like nobody thinks they want people to come to a funeral. It's sad and we're crying and we don't want people to see us that way. But having someone show up to support you and show respect to the person who passed can do a world of good to the person mourning. Showing up for your friends, especially in a time they are hurting, is better than giving them space when they might need the exact opposite. Show up and let them tell you to leave if they don't want you there. It'd better than not showing up and having them feeling like you didn't care too. My wife is a twin, and her mother is the definition of a monster-in-law, my wife's words, but I definitely agree. Anyways, we had the family over for our daughter's birthday, she's 2, and we commenced the festivities in the living room. My wife and I are very touchy-feely, but mostly keep it in check around other people, though we tease each other sometimes. She'll occasionally send me naughty texts during family dinner or something just to get a rise, in more than one way, out of me. Anyway, we're in our house and I go in the kitchen to get some more cake for some family members and pass my wife's ass in the air, so I slap it playfully, while my mother-in-law watches. See where I'm going with this? It wasn't my wife's ass though, it was her sister's. But only my mill got upset. My sil played it off correctly as the mistake it was. My mill yelled about how inappropriate it was and if I wasn't such a perv, I wouldn't have made such a big mistake and how she had always known I was a problem. Blah blah blah. I left the room thinking that would be the end of it. Did I learn my lesson? I thought so, but 15 minutes later, I'm headed upstairs to use the master bathroom because I didn't want to deal with the one downstairs that everyone was using. I walk in my room, the door is open, thought that was weird because we always close it due to the little one. I shut it behind me, pop out my dick and walk into the bathroom, and who is there just standing up from the toilet in my master bath? Not my sister-in-law, no, it was the monster-in-law. I freeze, because I'm 1, shocked that she had the audacity to use my master bathroom without asking, and 2, because she stares at my dick and then starts yelling stuff and that I'm a pervert and that she's ready to go to the cops because I had walked into my bathroom with my dick already out. Edit, our master bath doesn't have a door, it's a 43 inches opening with wooden trim. I turned around and walked out, tucking Mr. Johnson back into my pants as I do so. My wife comes into the room as I make it to the door and then she goes in and quiets her mom down and asks her to leave our house. She does, with her husband in tow, claiming that she's going to call the cops on me for it or something like that. The rest of the family left within a few minutes and, though my wife sided with me, I'm not sure what the future is going to hold for any family gatherings, etc. Update. My wife and Sil have both blocked their mother on all socials. No cops were ever called. My Sil's husband sent me a picture of her ass, in those TikTok leggings, this morning and asked me if I wanted to squeeze it again. Definitely still awkward. Update 2, we have ordered a custom door for the master bathroom, but it'll take 3 weeks before it's here. No family gatherings will be held in that time frame, and I have stopped whipping my dick out early. Shock therapy works, I guess. When I was 10 or 11ish old, I always popped my pea shooter out of my pants before I opened the bathroom door. My father owned a hair salon that was located inside the front part of our house. So one day I was walking towards the bathroom door, dropped my pants, held my ding-dong in my hands, opened the door. I saw this huge woman sitting on my toilet. She looked at me. I looked at her. I silently and slowly closed the door, put my pants back on and left. Later that day when my dad was done working he laughingly said, "I heard you had one of my clients at gunpoint earlier today again." I turned around and walked away without saying a word. Oh man, the humiliation. My wife has a sister 2 years apart and they are same size and shape and have the same mannerisms and will consistently show up places wearing the same clothes as they have such similar taste. One Halloween at our annual pumpkin carving at my house the sister-in-law showed up wearing same black leggings and same color top. I walked over to pass through the doorway and the fridge was open and my wife, or so I thought, was bent over in the fridge so all I could see was her black leggings so of course I went in for a full grab and I mean deep. She stands upright and I immediately turn white in horror. My wife is at the other side of the kitchen and sees the whole thing. My mind reverts to being a little boy and I whiny cry as I run all the way into the bedroom while screaming no no no. My wife had a laugh, said she was glad to see I turned white when I realized and my sister-in-law apologized saying she wore the same thing again and was in my house so she understood my mistake. Still mortifying until a couple months later when brother-in-law mistakes my wife for his while drinking at a bar and even the score. Oh man, not my proudest moment and I don't get embarrassed easy. Thanks for watching the video. Please, don't forget to share your opinions on the video by liking and commenting on the video. Kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell icon so that you don't miss any of our exciting episodes.